really quick. So close to 1,000 subscribers. I think a lot of you guys that watch my videos aren't subscribed, and that's okay if you don't want to, but if you do want to, that would be nice. So, oh, this is a different mic cover. This is not my fluffy mic, clearly. Let me know if you like it. I've always really liked this mic cover, but when other people use it, but let me know. I also have a new poster. If you're a Bo Burnham fan, so am I. So, found that in my room at home, and I was like, I know where that would look cute. So, yeah. Today's video are scary stories from Reddit, which I'm pretty excited about because I've always really liked these videos. I think when I first saw someone make a video like this, it was Jingle Jangle ASMR. Love her. She looks like Keira Knightley. So yeah, if you want to see her videos, you can look her up. I'm gonna start by putting on some lip balm. This is the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask in berry. I don't know how people keep track of that little spatula thing that it comes with, but I don't have that. Okie doke. Alright, so I have 4 stories here, and I tried to find ones that I thought were kind of freaky, but I kind of skimmed them, so part of this is going to be surprising. Okay. Let's get into it. Okay. This is called Get in the Oven. On my 10th birthday, Grandma told me to get in the oven. Before I was pushed in the dark space, I heard the smashing of our furnitures and Dad's angry voice asking where I was. He'd come home drunk again. It started when my mom left due to his cheating that showed me a much darker side of him when he was confronted about it. He hit them both, the sound still ringing in my ears. I hid in my room before I could witness anything else, and when I woke after falling asleep, I saw Grandma cleaning the oven like her life depended on it. Since I bore my mother's face, I became the target of his wrath. The abuse wasn't physical, but it didn't make anything better. Dad would make me stand in the corner before he'd scream at me until I pissed myself scared. The horror would end when he'd see me soiling my garments, and with a smile on his face, he'd take his leave. He knew the places where I could take refuge. It was like I had no chance of escape. Not even the cops could help us. They were marionettes of my father after all. One defiant move and he'd snip a string. On my 10th birthday, Grandma told me to get in the oven because that's the last place Dad would look. Through the thick glass, I saw the lower half of their bodies. Frantic hand movements told me then that they had started to argue when my dad's hands gripped my grandma's arms. I lost it and pushed the door open. I was a crying mess already, begging my father to stop as I held on to his feet. Strong fingers pried me away from my position before he knelt down to my eye level as I felt the birth of bruises on my skin. I could hear Grandma in the background pleading for him to release his hold on me, but her cries fell on deaf ears. My voice was so hoarse at this point, but I willed myself to make him see me as his own. Dad, please, I'm your daughter. I saw how his eyes flashed an emotion I couldn't name, but when he uttered "not for long," as his sight darted to the oven behind me and added, "just like Mommy," I knew then that what was once my place of safety just minutes ago was now threatening to be my grave. Struggling was pointless against him. I pushed inside with all of his strength, with the smell of gas permeating the space as the corner started to heat up. I was ready to accept my end, but then Grandma reached for me while she pulled me out, and I saw my father bleeding like a river from the knife at his throat. I didn't expect to cry, but I never expected to laugh either. I felt something break in me as I asked my grandmother, "Mom never left, did she?" That's like one of my biggest fears, I think, being in an oven or a dryer. No thank you to both of those, please. Okie doke. The next story is called My Wife Has Been Missing for 15 Years Until She Called My Phone Out of the Blue. This is from the same subreddit, and this is by Holly Mae Blissful 2 months ago. I don't like to talk about what happened 15 years ago. I don't even like to think about the fact that on January 7th, 2008, Sarah Collins, beloved member of the community, left home to run an errand and then was never seen again. It was a huge case back then. Everyone seemed to want to know what happened to her, but no one was more desperate for answers than I was. Sarah and I had been married for 5 years. I knew as soon as I met her that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her. She had one of those smiles that just lit up a room. That's why it was so hard to believe that such a successful, beautiful woman had seemingly disappeared. They hadn't even recovered her body. 15 years later, and they still didn't have a shred of evidence. Not a tire track or even a fingerprint. Nothing. The police put out an appeal, but no one came forward. Somehow, not a single person had seen her. It was like she had just vanished without a trace. I think about Sarah a lot. I could never quite bring myself to take down the photos of her from around the house. Sarah's bright face still smiles down at me from every room. There's one photo of her from our wedding day that I really love. Looking at it is like looking straight at her. It captured her perfectly. 2 days ago, I found myself staring at it, really getting lost in the details. Her eyes, the way the corners of her mouth were lifting into a smile, the small dimple on her left cheek. I was looking at it so intently that I almost mobiles nowadays. When I looked at the caller ID, it was an unknown number. I shrugged and picked it up anyway. It was probably just the bank calling to confirm something. The call took a moment to connect, but when it did, I heard a strange rustling sound on the other end of the line. Rustling, rustling, rustling. Hello. I wasn't in the mood for any prank callers. Is anyone there? Hello? Daniel. Daniel, thank goodness I finally reached you. The voice on the other end of the line was a woman's voice, shaking and breathless. Daniel, it's me. It's Sarah. Are you there? When I heard her name, it was like my heart had stopped beating for a moment. Sarah, my Sarah. But that was impossible. Sarah had gone missing 15 years ago. Whoever this was, it was not my wife. I don't know who you are, but you're not Sarah, I hissed into the phone coldly. Stop calling this number. I had dealt with a lot of these calls, especially when Sarah first went missing. Con artists, fraudsters, anyone who wanted to manipulate a grieving husband. I knew none of them were my wife. No, Daniel, wait. You have to listen to me. It's me, Sarah. You have to believe me. She was sounding shrill and desperate now, even a little hysterical. The lengths that people go to in order to sell a lie is astonishing. Why are you doing this? I asked angrily. It's been 15 years since my wife disappeared. What do you want from me? For a moment, the woman on the other end of the line didn't respond. I was beginning to think that the call had disconnected when she finally spoke. Daniel, please, it's me. It's your wife, Sarah, the woman begged. I'm telling you the truth. It's me. She continued to plead, but I'd had enough. I wasn't going to listen to a liar anymore. Don't call this number again, I firmly told her, hanging up. I thought that would do it. She wouldn't be likely to call me again. I assumed it was all over. The next day, I asked a friend to help me repair my plumbing system. He was a good friend. I'd known him since college. He had been there for me when Sarah disappeared, getting me through it. We were both taking a break, catching up on the important events in each other's lives when my landline phone began to ring again. Sorry, I have to take this. It might be important, I said, getting up from my seat and making my way to the phone. I noticed that the call was coming from an unknown number, just as it had the day before. I didn't make a connection right away. After all, it could have just been the bank this time around. I picked up the phone and I heard the same rustling sound. It was unsettling in a strange way. I almost felt like I had heard it before. I just couldn't put my finger on it. Uh-oh. Hello. I was ready. I was already beginning to get a good idea of what this call was, and I wasn't happy about it. I told you not to call this number. Daniel, thank goodness I finally reached you. The very same words that she had said the day before. Daniel, it's me, Sarah. Are you there? It was undoubtedly the same woman. I don't have time for this, I hissed into the phone. I know you're not Sarah. Stop calling me. I hung up the call and walked back to my friend who looked confused. Who was that? He asked me. I heard you saying Sarah's name. Is everything okay? It was me, Sarah, my friend echoed. That's really strange. Did you tell anyone about it, like the police? No, I shake my head. There's no need. It's just someone trying to cause a bit of drama. They probably want money or something like that. I made it clear that that was the end of the conversation. I didn't want to continue talking about it, bringing up harmful reminders of the past. I woke up the next day, not expecting to get any more calls from this unknown number. I made it very clear that I wouldn't be participating in her charade. However, I was quickly proven wrong. As soon as I started to walk downstairs for a glass of water, the phone rang again. I thought about letting it ring, but I had a better idea. I was going to issue a much stronger warning to the caller, even threaten to get the police involved if the calls wouldn't stop. That would scare her, I was certain of it. I picked up the phone, hearing the same eerie rustling. I couldn't explain it, but a shiver ran up my spine. Finally, the call connected. It was the same as other times, the same pathetic monologue. Daniel, it's me. Thank goodness I finally reached you. Maybe it was even a recorded message. Daniel, it's me. It's Sarah. Are you there? If you don't stop calling this number, I'll have no choice but to involve the police, I told the caller. This is harassment. If you want money, try conning someone else. Before I could even give the woman on the other line a chance to answer, I hung up the call. Hopefully this would show her that she wouldn't be manipulating me. I could see right through her elaborate scam. I was sure that my warning would stop the calls coming in. I was so sure of myself that when I was awoken by a loud, persistent ringing sound the next morning, I didn't even think to connect it to the unknown number calls. I first assumed it was my alarm waking me up, but when I turned to look, I saw the alarm hadn't gone off yet. That's when I reached the conclusion that it was the landline phone. I rushed down the stairs, wanting to tell the caller that I would be taking police action, wanting to catch out the desperate scammer. Fortunately, I got down there in time and picked up the phone. Holding it to my ear, I heard that creepy rustling that I had become familiar with. It still made my heart beat faster, just for the few seconds until the call connected. Daniel, thank goodness I finally reached you. The usual message of hysteria came through the phone. I was well used to hearing it by now. Daniel, it's me, it's Sarah, are you there? I gave you a warning. I said that if you called again, I would be taking legal action. I spoke into the phone loudly, so that whoever was on the other side would be sure to hear me. You've gone too far now. I have to do something about this. I waited for the woman to respond. Daniel, no, it's me. I'm not lying to you. I would never lie to you. Daniel, it's me. Sarah, your wife, it's me. I can't stand the high-pitched whine of her voice. You're not Sarah, I told her bitterly. I know you're not Sarah. I will be taking action. Goodbye. I hung up the call for the final time and placed the phone back. I know that woman wasn't Sarah. I know for a fact she wasn't. What? Oh my gosh. I know it because on January 7th, 2008, Sarah Collins, beloved member of the community, was killed, and I was the one who killed her. That's crazy. Sarah was an incredibly beautiful woman. I couldn't believe my luck when she first started showing interest in me. I didn't exactly have a lot of experience when talking to women, and I was ecstatic that someone like Sarah had chosen someone like me. I loved her. For every single second of our marriage, I loved her, even when I found out that she was cheating on me. My Sarah was planning to leave me just for him. I couldn't have that. She was so beautiful, so bright, so full of life. I couldn't lose her. I just couldn't lose her. So I killed her. I didn't have time to think about it for long. It was the only way that she would be only mine forever. If she was dead, she would never leave me. She would always be my Sarah. When the police arrived, I made up an elaborate lie that she had gone out on an errand and never come home. The very same lie ended up in the headlines of national news. I didn't know if I would even get away with it, but a year passed, and then another year, and another. 15 years passed, and no one ever saw through me. I was about to walk upstairs when I heard a small tapping at the window. Click, click. That was the sound of the window opening, and that's when I heard it. Oh my God. Rustling right here in my own house. The rustling that paralyzed me with fear and set my mind into a state of panic. Then I heard her. Daniel, thank goodness I finally reached you. The voice was coming from inside the house now. Daniel, it's me, Sarah. Are you there? I really liked that. That was cool. There's a part 2. Okay, guys. Well, I read 2, and that took up quite a bit of time. If you want me to read the second part to that story and read the other ones I was planning on reading, just let me know. This was fun. I like the fake ones because then I don't feel as sad, I think. But yes, I hope you found this interesting.